Claude Sonnet 5 is here. What if the model everyone slept on just caught up to the big one? Nobody's really talking about this yet, but it might be the smartest AI switch you make all month. The catch? Most people are still stuck on the old one. Let me show you what actually changed. I'm the digital avatar of Julian Goldie, and my whole job is helping you learn AI tools and actually use them in your real work. Not the hype, the stuff that saves you hours. Today we're breaking down Claude Sonnet 5, which just dropped on June 30th. By the end of this, you'll know exactly what it does, why it matters, and the one setting inside it that quietly makes your whole workflow faster. Stick around because that part is the thing almost nobody mentions. So let's start simple. What is Claude Sonnet 5? For a long time, Claude came in a few sizes. There was the small, fast one, there was the middle one called Sonnet, and there was the big, heavy, powerful one called Opus. If you wanted the really smart, plan it all out, do the hard stuff work, you reached for the big, heavy Opus model. Sonnet was the everyday workhorse. Good, but not the top of the class. Sonnet 5 changes that. Anthropic says it's their most agentic Sonnet model yet. And agentic is the word to really understand here. So let me explain it in plain English. Agentic just means the model can act on its own. It can make a plan, open a browser, use a terminal, run through a bunch of steps, and keep going without you holding its hand the whole time. Older models would start a task and then kind of stop halfway. Sonnet 5 is built to push all the way to the finish. Here's why that's a big deal. Anthropic says Sonnet 5's performance is now close to their top Opus model, and it's a real step up from the last version, Sonnet 4.6, on things like reasoning, tool use, coding, and everyday knowledge work. Let me make that real with how I actually use it. I used Claude Sonnet 5 to run a full research pass on the topics people keep bringing up inside the AI Profit Boardroom. I let it open a browser, pull together what the top AI tools are doing right now, and draft a set of session outlines from all of that in one go. That's the kind of prep work that keeps every AI Profit Boardroom call sharp and current instead of recycling stuff from 6 months ago. Now, here's the part that quietly matters most, the way Sonnet 5 thinks. Older Claude models, if you didn't turn anything on, would just answer straight away without thinking through the problem. Sonnet 5 flips that. It has something called adaptive thinking switched on by default. In plain terms, that means it takes a beat to reason through harder tasks on its own, and it decides how much thinking each task actually needs. Simple question, quick answer, messy, multi-step job. It slows down and works it out. You don't have to flip a switch, it just does it. And there's an effort control on top of that. You can dial the effort up or down depending on the job. Low effort when you want it fast. High effort when you want it to really grind on something hard. At the higher levels, Anthropic says it can match their top Opus model on some tasks, so you're not locked into one speed. You pick the balance you need for that specific job. Let me show you what that looks like in my world. I ran Sonnet 5 to map out a whole welcome sequence for new AI Profit Boardroom members. From one prompt, it planned the first message they get, the quick start guide, and the walkthrough of where everything lives inside. New AI Profit Boardroom members land in and know exactly what to do first, instead of poking around lost on day one. Okay, let's talk about the other upgrades, because there are a few that change how you work day to day. First, the memory. Sonnet 5 comes with a 1 million token context window. Token is just the way these models count text, so don't overthink it. The point is this: you can hand it a huge amount of material at once. Long documents, whole transcripts, big piles of notes, all in a single go. It can hold way more in its head than most people are used to. That means less chopping your work into little pieces and less starting over. Second, and this one's underrated, Sonnet 5 makes fewer mistakes. Anthropic says it shows lower rates of hallucination, which is the fancy word for when a model confidently makes stuff up. It's also less sycophantic, which just means it's less likely to blindly agree with you and tell you what you want to hear. So you get straighter, more honest answers. When you're building real work off this thing, that trust matters a lot. Third, it checks its own work. This is the one testers kept pointing at. People who got early access said Sonnet 5 would finish complex tasks that older models would quit halfway through, and it would double check its own output without being told to. One tester asked it to look into a bug, and on its own, it wrote a test to reproduce the problem, fixed it, then confirmed the fix actually worked, all in one pass. That's the agentic thing showing up in real life. There's also a quieter change under the hood. Sonnet 5 uses a new tokenizer, which is just the system that turns your text into those tokens I mentioned. It counts text a bit differently than the old version, so the same text now uses more tokens. You don't need to do anything with that. Just know that if you're a developer watching your usage, you'll want to recount rather than trust your old numbers. Now, here's something that makes all of this easy to actually try. Sonnet 5 is available across every plan right now. It's the default model most people are already on, and it's there for Pro, Max, Team, and Enterprise users too. It's also inside Claude Code and on the Claude platform for developers, so you don't need some special setup to get your hands on it. For a lot of people, it's already the model you're talking to without even realizing it. Now, quick real talk, because this is exactly the kind of thing we go deep on. Inside the AI Profit Boardroom, this is the stuff we actually work through together. When a model like Sonnet 5 drops, I don't just tell members it exists. We run live coaching calls where you can bring your own setup, share your screen, and ask exactly how to switch over without breaking your workflow. We build step-by-step walkthroughs for the new features, like getting adaptive thinking and the effort levels working the way you want. There are ready-to-use prompts you can copy straight into Sonnet 5 and run today. And there's a roadmap that walks you through using it week by week, so you're not staring at a blank screen wondering where to start. On top of that, inside the AI Profit Boardroom, you can get the full Agent OS zip file ready to install, and we built out a complete 30-day roadmap to go with it, laid out as use cases you can follow step by step. If you're watching this and thinking, great, but how do I actually put this to work? That's the whole point of the AI Profit Boardroom. We turn the announcement into something you're actually using by the end of the week. All right, back to the tool, because there's more you should know before you jump in. Let's talk about safety, because it's not the boring part you think it is. It actually affects whether you can trust this thing with real work. Anthropic says Sonnet 5 is overall safer than the last version. It's better at refusing sketchy requests, and it's better at resisting something called prompt injection, which is where hidden instructions try to hijack the model while it's working. When the model is out there using browsers and tools on your behalf, that resistance really matters, because you don't want it getting tricked mid-task. Sonnet 5 is also the first Sonnet tier model to ship with real-time cybersecurity safeguards built in. In plain terms, it watches for dangerous cyber-type requests and blocks them as they happen. For normal folks doing normal work, you'll never bump into this. It just means the thing is being run responsibly while it gets more powerful. And here's the good news: if you already used the last version, Sonnet 5 is basically a drop-in replacement for Sonnet 4.6. If you're a developer, you mostly just swap the model name and you're going. There are a couple of small changes to watch for, like the fact that manual thinking settings and certain sampling settings will now throw an error, so you clean those out. But the core of it, same shape, more power, that's a rare thing. Usually an upgrade means relearning everything. This one mostly just works. Let me give you one more from my own workflow. I used Sonnet 5 to put together a resource library for the AI Profit Boardroom, and because it checks its own work, it caught the gaps and filled them before I even asked. That means AI Profit Boardroom members get a cleaner, more complete set of guides to actually work through instead of a half-finished folder. So let's zoom out. Why does all of this matter to you? Because the old rule was simple. If you wanted top-tier smarts, you had to reach for the biggest model and deal with it being slower and heavier. Sonnet 5 quietly breaks that rule. You get close to the top of the class in a model that's fast, easy to reach, and already the default for most people. The gap between the good everyday model and the powerful heavy one just got a lot smaller. And that means better work faster without needing to reach for the heaviest tool every single time. That's the shift almost nobody's talking about. Not a flashy new gimmick, a genuinely capable model sitting right there in front of you, ready to do the multi-step work you used to have to babysit. So here's what I do next. Go open Claude, make sure you're on Sonnet 5, and hand it something real. Give it a messy multi-step task, turn the effort up, and watch how far it carries it on its own. That first run is where it clicks. If you want the full process, the SOPs, and 100 plus AI use cases like this one, join the AI Success Lab. Links in the comments and description. You'll get all the video notes from there, plus access to our community of 75,000 members who are crushing it with AI. You can also get the full Agent OS zip file in there ready to install, and we built out a complete 30-day roadmap to go with it, laid out as use cases. And if you're about to go try Sonnet 5 yourself, here's the honest part. The first time you push it on a big agentic task, you'll hit questions. How high should I set the effort? Why did it think for so long here? How do I get it to stop halfway and check in? That's exactly where the AI Profit Boardroom saves you the headache. We've got the Sonnet 5 walkthroughs, the live coaching calls where you can ask about your own setup on the spot, the prompt packs you can run today, and a roadmap that takes you from just switch to it to using it every day without the guesswork. You can also get the full Agent OS zip file in there, ready to install, and we built out a complete 30-day roadmap to go with it, laid out as use cases. Come join us and put this to work while it's brand new. Head to aiprofitboardroom.com and I'll see you inside.